I'm Miriam Gibson. I'm the president of Westside Neighborhood Association.
Hi, my name is Leonard Martin. I'm the vice president of the Historic Westside Community Association. Bonanza the 15 to H Street, H north to Owens, Owens east to the 15. That's our neighborhood association boundary.
Well, the neighborhood association is about representing the people in the community. We are the voice for the people in the community. A lot of people may not have the time or the knowledge as to represent themselves properly in encountering a lot of things that's coming into the neighborhood that's trying to be put on them. And we form a association representing the neighborhood so that we can be a voice in the government representing their wants and their needs and their disapprovals.
We are direct voices for the taxpayers, single-family homeowners in this community, tenants, leasers, and we would like more participation from the community so that we can have a voice in how in this 100 plan is being delegated in our community.
And, to be able to bring back businesses and art and in here and to capture our culture, that's my whole dream.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I'm involved in this.
You know, I'm 60. I just turned 63. I ain't got too much longer. You know, and I'm a layman. In the last couple of days, I have gotten a call from the councilwoman. I have been in contact consistently with our new planning commissioner, Stephen Mumford. So I was back and forth with the mayor's office because I have some emails, and I have been doing this for a while. Well, the 100 plan has certain titles added on to it, economic development since then, but it has been sitting on the shelf for 50 years. They revitalized it, and you know, with a lot of redlining going on and racism and discrimination in this particular black community, nothing has ever been done. Now it's a push for redevelopment within our community, mainly because we're an economic hub for downtown Vegas.
Exactly.
And now that we're the center of attention, and it seems like gentrification, you know, they got our taxpayer money, they depicting these images and these parcels of land or what they want. We just want to use the resources available to us with our taxpayer money to have a say-so in what's going on in this community. You know, we talking about things like passing on to our kids, you know, the neighborhood, the community, you know, black wealth.
Now, also, we not only represent the community, the residents of the community, we also have a lot of small businesses in the community that we represent, you know, that need to have a voice here. For many years, this community has been ignored. Historically, it was the only place that Black Americans could live in Las Vegas, and they only lived in this area as servants to the casinos. We are here to represent the people. We are the voice for the people that cannot speak. We want to be the beacon for any negotiation that comes into this community. This community needs to benefit for any redevelopment that whatever a developer has planned for.
We have took measures to unify us with the city of Las Vegas in the past 6 years.
Now, what we plan to do is, instead of allowing all of these developers or to come in here and just completely tell the community what they want and how it should go, we, being the voice of the community, is going to tell them what the community want and what is acceptable to them, because they should have a say-so in them destroying their culture. And this is a cultural community. They're talking about bringing in hotels and casinos, but what about the housing? What about replacing some of the housing? What the community needs is housing, single-family housings or townhouses to replace a lot of the ones that's deteriorating in the area. And a lot of people are losing their homes because they're being pushed out for taxes of some kind. Knocking on doors, getting together petitions, bringing people together and hearing exactly what it is that they want, what they envision for their community. You know, and anybody that wants to come into the community, bring some new development in there, should be able to talk with the people or the representatives of the community so that everything can be coordinated in a way that is beneficial to us all.
Right.
I don't believe that the community is against progression or anything like that. Any area is going to progress, but they don't want someone to just come shove something on them, totally disregard whatever input that they might have, and displace them.
I have made a petition. I'm going door to door with single-family homeowners that live within 3,000 to 5,000 feet of this proposed 4-story, 22-unit apartment building, which is approximately 300 feet away from our residence. We feel that this is not the proper use for this piece of parcel of land, and so do my neighbors. So I was told by the Ward 5 Councilwoman Armstrong to get some signatures and the residents to come down to that meeting to voice their opinion. Now, we have been in contact with the engineer. I personally talked to the engineer that's got this proposal up for this development on H Street, Harrison, and Owens. And this is single-family attached housing with 2-story condominiums. You can buy housing. This is not apartments. You know, we feel, those in our neighborhood feel that this is what we're looking towards. The developer's name is Cindy L. Brandon, and she has along the same visions as we have for the historical Westside and building housing, far as single-family home housing. The rendition she's talking about people like me who own property, and now that I'm a senior citizen, I might be looking toward downsizing.
But my objection to the housing situation is, can the people in the community afford the housing that they're going to bring here?
We feel that everything is not the right look for our community, our upraising of our kids, our community setting, our single form landscape, and that's what we want to have some input on. So, like I said, you haven't did nothing for 50 years. What's 120 days where we can come down? The mayor just opened up the resource center at the historic Westside Schoolhouse. We have access to architects and stuff, so you can get educated, and you can look at the city's view, and you can calculate that with the community's view, and we can get a better understanding of which direction the community and the city, because like I said, the city is a developer in this. So all the renditions we seeing is from city officials, prior council members, you know. That's why I mentioned gentrification. You know, this is their vision. We got low density in our neighborhood. The most density we have is on Sunday because we live in a church-oriented community. And your organization can help us by coming out, meeting with the neighborhood, the community. We can arrange a meeting, and then we can see both sides and both views and what's going on.
Well, we'll have our meetings once a month, and at the Urban Chamber of Commerce, which is 1951 Stella Lake here in Las Vegas, in 89106. What we would like to do is reach out to the community and, you know, try to bring some businesses in here, you know, into the community, because this area lacks businesses. We have a lot of culture to share with the thousands and millions of people that come into Las Vegas, into this community. And when I said they need housing, we want the churches to be a part of the organization and the community. You know what I mean? Because they not only reach people within the community, but there's thousands of people outside of the community come here every Sunday. You know, and that's a lot of consumers that could share, do business with the people in the community if they had establishments. Well, what we would like to be, and we have established, to be the liaison between the community and the city. And working directly with the planning commission and letting them know that there are businesses that are willing to establish businesses in this community that's serving the needs of the people of the community and the people want.
You can contact me at Lee Marvin 623 gmail.com. That's my email address for the Historic Westside Community Association. It's LEMARVIN 623 at gmail.com. And look, I will put you in contact with the people I know who working together with this community.
And you can also reach me, Miriam Gibson, at Village Voices 76 at gmail.com. You can also reach out to our Facebook page, The Village Voices, with Miriam Gibson. And it's been a well-established Facebook page that really tells you a lot about things that's going on in the community and different people that I've met and interviewed. We're more grassroots, and we need professionals to come in and help us develop certain things.
We all ponytailing with each other for this community, so it's enough room for anybody want to roll their sleeves up, come on to the table and be trusted servants, to serve this community.
Whatever procedure that we need to do to claim this, because this area has been, the black community has been here since the 30s, the 20s. You know what I mean? They used to have well-established businesses in this area. Well-established, I don't see, well, there are still some small businesses, but not as established as they used to be. So we need to be able to take that instead of somebody else coming and making money off of this community. That's what other, black community members should do. Yeah.
When gambling started being legal, that was in the 1930s when they started opening up the hotels. That's when segregation started. All of us have been working in our own pockets toward the betterment. And so I found out, I think at least 2 years ago, I was at a neighborhood meeting and I thought I was the president of the neighborhood association. Somebody else thought they was the president of the neighborhood association. So everybody there was the president of a neighborhood association. I said, wow, why don't we do the unified Westside Neighborhood Association, try to get all the people together, because the main thing the government has done is that no one knows what is the West Side or where. When you say West Side, you're talking about something completely different than somebody else when they're talking about the West Side. And then there's West Las Vegas. And so that becomes a whole different set of conversation. There's West Las Vegas and Old West Las. We don't even know who we are as far as our geographic location goes. We don't know what area we're talking about. So when you say the West Side to somebody, they're thinking Summerlin.
That's true.
So, and I've seen our money disappear based on that. So when Mr. Mumford went up to Carson City and asked for funding for West Las Vegas, he got it. But they built Summerlin.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I said, well, wait a minute, we need to stop this.
Yeah.
We need to be geographically focused on the neighborhoods and boundaries that we're talking about, because the funding's attached to precincts and zip codes.
Yeah.
And not to words. So then I said, well, let's do NAA1 is where I live. Do you know your neighborhood association name and the number? So we have to do business the way the government is structured.
Exactly.
And we got the West Side Affairs, we got the West Las Vegas this, and that's how they separate us. So I'm doing business as NAA1 because that's how I go from the city to the state where my geographic census tract number is, my parcel number is attached to NAA1.
Okay.
And we don't know this, so we're able to get sideswiped and our money gets away from us. So I'm glad Mr. Martin's here today so we can identify which NAA are you in 1 through 8 or where you are. And then I'm talking to Tammy Satoli over in NAA 6, I think, Crystal Carr over in 5. We got to have someone from every association area come together. So when we go to the government, we can say, this neighborhood association, NAA1 by the state statute, would like to see this.
Yeah, we definitely need to coordinate
Okay, so
and
what we're,
define.
and I didn't
Sure.
make this stuff up. This is coming through the
Oh.
Department of Housing and Urban Development. And they know that this is happening to our cities across America. So, and it's only coming about because there's so much violence in public housing. And so HUD set up these envision centers across America. And we're supposed to get into the envision centers and envision our own future. There's resources for that. We're all sitting here trying to figure out, well, do we want a store over here? The store would love to come in, but we can't say, you know what? The city's already improved entitlements for a coffee shop to go here.
That's right.
So the developer doesn't have to come and try to figure out where to put a coffee shop.
Exactly.
We can say, you know what, if you're trying to put a funeral home in, the communities come together and decide that this is the best spot for a funeral home. You're going to have a lot less problem putting your funeral home here because the community said that's what. But these people come in the city are telling, the city's telling people to go try to do stuff on property that they know the citizens are not going to go for it.
Yeah, that's why we need to become united so that we, as a united front, can be a liaison with the city and let them know they need to come to us as a community before they start throwing things at us.
And when they say we're going to do something for the black community, black Negroes come here from all over Southern Nevada talking about we the black community, this is what we want. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so they in the community too. But what are we talking? Are we talking about the landowners on the west side, or are we talking about all black people in Southern Nevada? So we have to define who we are and where we are and what we want to be.
Right.
Because when we decide what we want to be, then outside people won't come in here trying to pull no stuff over. They're going to say, oh, they don't want to be that. So we spend our time fighting what we don't want instead of deciding this is what we do want and showing developers, businesses what we do want.
Yeah, well, that should be the top of the agenda.
That's
it does have to be geographically laid out. That
Correct.
is number one.
Right.
Even though the black community might live outside of the community area that has been established historically for black American people, which that is a geographical boundary that they were allowed to live here only in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That's not hard to define. But I think what the problem is that if the people that live inside that geographical boundary put their hands up, try to push other people, especially other black members of the black community, out from coming in and help them, they're not going to grow in it. They're not going to grow. Mm-hmm. You need people with expertise that's willing to come in and to help grow this community. Just like the Koreans trying to take over Maryland Parkway, call that Korean Town now. They already got Chinatown, and the Ethiopians got that, and I respect that. But let's do that for this area. Let's claim something to show in case our contributions to this community
wins when his opponents are divided.
Oh yeah.
Okay. In the past, our enemy has sent some black people over here because they were black to try to do their enemy stuff against us.
Yeah.
So those people who've been here a long time are kind of nervous about black people too coming in. It's, you're not from here, you weren't born here. So I can understand the pushback because I wasn't born here either.
Most of the people over here.
Okay, so but I've been in Las Vegas since 1977, and I've been living on the west side on purpose. I don't have to live on the west side. I didn't have to move over here. I came over here to figure out what the hell was going on. There was drugs rampant. Women selling themselves right here on the street. In the middle of the night, cars spinning around donuts, just how they was having fun. People stabbing and killing. I said, what the hell is going on with our people? So I moved out of what's the place with the water and the ducks?
Lake.
Desert Shores.
Oh, okay.
Because Stanley Washington came to my office. I own a company up on Rainbow. It was a travel agency. And wanted me to go and speak to the people at the MGM because the MGM was going to write $100 million check to fix up the West Side if we could come together with a plan for the money. So he came to me and to Mr. Mumford's house, and I sat down with the people, and they was madder than hell because they couldn't get together on a plan. But the MGM sitting there with a $100 million check. So I said, well, before you all go down there and throw rocks at the mayor and all this stuff, MGM wants to give you $100 million. Let's come up with a plan. But everybody, for some reason, they could not go to the table and put, well, let's do this. Let's make this the boundaries of the West Side. This will be whatever let's put them up, build up. We could never set boundaries for the West Side.
See, I come from a metropolitan city that's defined by
that could be defined.
the dividing of the total city of Chicago is Madison and State Street.
Okay.
They didn't design y'all city like that.
Right.
So now we at a passage now that we must define it.
Correct. Okay, so it seems as though the center of black commerce was Jackson Street and Edmondtown Center and Nucleus Plaza. That seems like to be the center of black commerce. Bell's Market, Sonny's Chicken. That seems to be the center of black commerce, at least on the Las Vegas side, because some of West Side is also in North Las Vegas. It's not all in the city of Las Vegas. So you tell some people in real estates that they're not in in the West Side, they would be a little concerned about it. So we got West Side in two cities, right? So in order for us to build the West Side, we need to unite the two municipalities around the same goal. I would think that there would be one possible method of moving forward. So my background is in history. And I realized even on the Pioneer Trail, it doesn't go into North Las Vegas. It's as if North Las Vegas never existed. All the history is in Las Vegas. No history in North Las Vegas. And that's a tragedy, because history doesn't stop by municipal boundaries. So, long story short, I've taken a lot of sessions, a lot of lessons, brought in and paid a lot of consultants, and I'm working on the fact that in order for us to build our community, we need 4 strong institutions. Our community doesn't have institutions. Institutions are our Chamber of Commerce, our Historical Society, our banks. We need these institutions in order to do the business. Our neighborhood associations, the building block of the people, the churches, the schools. We have to have ways for people to come together. We used to come together in people's house. A potluck. Everybody come over, have a potluck, and we decide what to do. It's hard to get us together in the same room unless someone from the city gets us together. We haven't had a block party, nothing where we just come together as people just to talk about what we want to see. So, but we're not alone. This is by design because we're one of those communities that's been hated on. Knowing that we have outside influences that don't want us to succeed. A city councilman sat in the room with me. He said, in order to fix up the West Side, Katie, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with a clean slate, tear everything down. We're going to start fresh. He meant it. And he set out on a path to do that. He sold this land out to private developers, promised them they could come in and build all this stuff. They didn't know we were going to fight. The man told me, he goes, well, we're going to buy your house and we're going to give you $1.5 million. I said, no, you ain't. So I'm not selling. He said, what you mean you ain't going to sell? Not selling. Not going anywhere. So then I started working on getting historic landmark designation because I knew how valuable these properties are. So how we move forward, in my opinion, is strong neighborhood association. We need a strong Chamber of Commerce. That's why we teamed up with the Urban Chamber of Commerce. Our Historical Society has got to get moving because the only way we're going to protect our history is through the Historical Society approach. We got to get a historic designation on the whole, from here to here, here to here, whatever that is that we say is our history that's sacred. We put a band around it and don't let them touch it unless we say it's historic.
Yeah, that's called the proclamation. I'm very much in favor of doing that. just like little Ethiopia did that, we could do the same thing here.
Draw the lines.
Yeah.
That does require you to
Definitely
draw the
do.
lines.
Yeah.
That's the historical society because you gotta have the historical reason why that happens. Okay. So then it's hard to come together in a room, but we got computers now. I can open my computer and see you. And we can send paperwork to each other. And I can get 100 people on the phone at the same time and show them pictures at the same time. We can do that. And we can get the young people to come in and help us do that.
Yeah, we definitely need to pull the young people in.
And so what we're setting up here is a STEM center. So the young people can come in and start designing their own future. What we're building is not for me. I'm almost 70 years old. What we're building is for my grandson and his grandchildren. So we need to start, because I was like, oh, we need to build I would say we need a light rail. I had designed a whole light rail system to come from downtown to the Westside. And my son said, well, Mama, we're going to be flying the cars. Why you need a train? I was like, ooh, Lord. Flying cars. So I had to back up off of him. I stopped fighting for the light rail. I said, well, I don't know. Let me see what the data says.
Well, hey, if they could bring buses through here to make it easier for people to.
No, we gonna bring the buses through. Okay, we're gonna be. But okay, so we need to design what our neighborhood and our community is gonna look like. We need to have an organization in place that only does this work and don't do nothing else. We have to decide how we're gonna promote whatever it's gonna be. And then we have to economically restructure it, which means we have to decide what businesses we want in our communities and what businesses we don't want. And we're going to stick to it. And we move quietly, purposely, because the money is there waiting for us.
Yeah.
I talked to the NAACP this morning, and they talking about, I said, you know what? The NAACP today needs to start a Westside Opportunity Zone Fund. So everybody can invest in, everybody wants opportunity zone. You know, all the rich people, they put $1 million in an opportunity zone. They don't have to pay no taxes on it for 10 years. The government won't take no taxes from you if you're in opportunity zone. We get an opportunity, because if we can get some money, we don't have to ask nobody for nothing. And we got plenty of money, we just don't have the fund established to receive the money from the people that are trying to put it in. So that's what I'm recommending. I call it the Harvey Mumford Westside Improvement Fund. But, you know, where that was.
Well, we definitely have to really solicit people to come into the community.
They're coming. They call me every day, all day long.
Well, we need to make it possible for them to do that.
Right. That's why I turned them over to the urban chamber, because we didn't have the capacity here to do it.
Functional all day.
Well, they just, Anthony Cornell? They started a community development corporation. We signed an MOU with. Yeah, this is just recent.
Yeah, because I'm a member of the chamber.
Yeah, not the old chamber. It was only about business owners getting business contracts. That's all they did, business contracts. And they weren't involved in any community development at all until now.
Well, that's progression then.
So I've got them, trying to get them hooked up with the Jackson Street Alliance, with the Gwen Walker Museum, with the mosque, to try to get because the city got the money to develop the plans for Jackson at least. $1.7 million, they played to plan Jackson. You don't see no plans yet.
Well, Mr. Mumford is on the planning commission, but is he just a name there?
Well, he's appointed
by one vote.
He's appointed by
the city councilwoman.
Okay, well, we have to talk.
It's an appointed position. But hold on.
He's
like the gentleman said right here, you know, I know people with a coffee shop. If you look at the 100 plan and you look at the renditions of the structured 100 plan, when they had all of the businesses architecturally modeled sitting up there, Jackson Street was zoned as a walkway fair. You couldn't drive cars.
A walk-in.
And they had the picture of the people walking with their dogs in the coffee shop. I asked at the meeting, do you remember? I asked at the meeting, where did y'all get this rendition from? They said then, oh, it was just thought of. I said, well, somebody had to think of it. It wasn't the community.
I'm sure it was no people of color.
You remember that meeting? When we had all the city officials.
There wasn't no black people in the picture.
No, it wasn't. Walking little tiny dogs.
You remember that?
Now, you remember the next meeting we had in City Chamber Congress. That's when, what's her name, the Community Affairs lady, Kathy.
Kathy Thomas.
Okay, she came out to the podium. Remember, the city came clean. We are developers in the 100 plan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, the people need to do more than just talk and blow off and all that stuff. Do something. I mean, really do something.
Okay, so here's what. Okay, so everybody has a computer.
Yeah.
We're gonna build the West Side, so we can see what it's gonna look like. If we know what it's gonna look like, then we know what to work toward. You know what you want to see?
Well, you know,
Do you know
let's
what you
get
want to
some,
see?
I mean, let's get some professionals. That's what we need to solicit professional people to come in to do that.
We do. That's what I'm suggesting.
We're talking about architect.
Right.
You know, people like that.
So we're coming to the table. Mel
contract.
Green has been given a $239,000 to come up with the design guidelines for the West Side.
But that's
Mel
why
Green.
they got the cubicle down there in the historical West Side School
Let's
that.
get in.
Engineering.
Cool.
Let's get in it.
It's the whole setup
We gotta
in there.
get. We gotta get in there because
You have
I didn't
never
know
seen
this.
it?
I got to get in there and see it.
The mayor just opened it up. It was supposed to be open 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Well,
No
we
wonder
need to
that's why
get
I
in and
can
see it because Mr. Martin is telling me about it. I can't wait till Monday morning.
I've been
to
in
go.
there. I've seen it when it.
But can you get in there? Because when I went in, the gates were closed.
That's what I just said in under the old regime of Councilman Cedric Greer.
Mhm.
That facility was supposed to be open for the community.
Right.
And liaison with the city of Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It never happened then.
Right.
The mayor just opened that up a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, so I'm gonna go there Monday morning. It's open Monday morning and see if because we need to get in there and do this design. Because we got to get the design. We got to also create an organization that's gonna do this.
And
Yeah.
you know, I think it might be the plan, but they will actually literally draw a map for us of the boundaries of this area.
They'll draw the lines that you suggest.
I mean, they
Because they've got suggested lines too. Some people say the West Side goes to Martin Luther King. How far do you say it goes?
Well, isn't 89106 all of the
So
If you do 89,
The historic area?
Stephanie Park is 89106.
Stephanie
Yeah,
Park?
yeah,
Do you know that's
Yeah.
89106?
Except for the park.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, so all this ended with the Moulin Rouge Agreement officially in 1960. 30 years. They set a fire to it in 1954. They set fire to it even before it tried to open. It was open 4 months. The sheriff came in and locked it down. It's been crapped on, and finally they burned it down. It's been 4 fires. That's hate crime.
Let's do a practice tape.
Well, like I said, man, I came to Vegas in 98, 99. You know, my sister came to Vegas actually in 1985. She ran the headquarters for the first black mayor of the city of Las Vegas, Harold Washington. And she was offered a position with the police, Chicago Police Department, but she wanted to further her education. So my mother had been coming to Vegas since the middle 60s, man, Reno and all that on vacation. And so my sister came out here to further her education. She was one of the 100 black women of Vegas. You know, she was on the board of directors for the second black credit union that used to be on Stella Lake and Lake Mead. So, you know, I come from a long line. My mother was the block club president. You know, used to have the NYC summer jobs. And, you know, I come from a long line of participating and giving back to the community. Yes, I have a mobile retail business that I pony up with a lot of these business owners here who allow me access and to their property to sell to their guests, like Marcus Allen, you know, on One Love club up here on H and Bonanza. He's also the president of the Jackson Street Initiative program I'm talking about. So, you know, if you email me and you're a business, also he's the owner of the Barber College in Las Vegas. You know, he has several barbershops. Not the football player.
Okay, yeah.
He has several barbershops in this community. His family, And my business partner is his first cousin, Pastor Kerry Nutley, owns Propaganda International on Sahara and Maryland Parkway. So, you know, it's a long history of the business people in this community that have spread out all over the city of Las Vegas. But if you email me, I can put you in contact with these people personally, you know, and then they can lead you on the way. I'm being led right now, man. You know, I'm willing to remain teachable.
Yeah, and I like to invite them back to the West Side. We need them here to establish businesses in our community. Funds available for people that want to relocate businesses, but we're asking you to come and bring a business here. Establish community, you know what I mean? Don't just walk away and put your money somewhere else. Put it in a community that, you know, that has some significance to our culture. That's the way I see it, you know. So that's what I would like to happen.
I love it.
I have my business. I have a real estate business, Vegas Property Locators. You know, we help people to relocate to Las Vegas. We have Notary Wizards, which is a document preparation service. We offer legal services and things like that. So I as a business person can go anywhere in Vegas, but I choose to have my business in the West Side community to serve the community over here. Yeah.